What is up, guys? Welcome to the video. Today's video is going to be all about the Oura ring, what it is, what I like about it, how it could benefit you, and whether or not you should get one. But before we get into that, make sure to like the video, and if you're not already, please subscribe so you get helpful, actionable health and fitness stuff straight to your subscriptions page here on YouTube. So with that out of the way, we'll dive into my review of the Oura ring. So the model of the Oura ring that I have is the Oura Ring 2, and it's the Heritage model in gold, which is a little bit pricier than the other models, but with what little jewelry I do wear, all of it is gold, so that's why I paid the little extra bit of money to get the gold finish. I also haven't seen a single review out there showing what the gold ring looks like, so hopefully if you're interested in buying the gold Oura ring and you're already set on buying the ring, this video gives you a little aesthetic view of what that ring looks like. But we'll get to that later on in the video. For now, let's talk about what the Oura ring is. So at its core, it's a health tracker that you wear on your finger. This is the biggest difference between this and the Fitbits out there, Apple Watch, Whoop bands. All those things are wrist-based wearables, and the Oura ring is obviously a ring that you just slide onto your finger. Now, what the Oura ring actually tracks is your movement, your temperature, your heart rate variability, your heart rate, your sleep, and your respiratory rate. And it communicates all of this data with an app that you'll use on your phone. The app itself is really clean, really nice, and has a great user interface, and I don't have any complaints about it. And the big thing that the app will show you is that it'll give you 3 scores on a daily basis out of 100. And those 3 scores are a sleep score, an activity score, and a readiness score. The biggest thing that this is marketed as is as a sleep tool. So I'll start with talking about the sleep score. So the sleep score takes into account the total time that you're sleeping, the different stages of sleep that you're in, the amount of time you spend in bed, how quickly you fall asleep, how restful your sleep was, whether you were tossing and turning throughout the night, and when you go to bed and when you wake up. The next big score is the activity score. And the activity score takes into account your movement throughout the day. And that activity score is based off of how you slept, how much walking you do throughout the day, how many calories you burn, your actual activity calories burned, not just your BMR, the amount of time you spend being active throughout the day, and your recovery time. And the third score, and my favorite score that I get, is based off of your heart rate variability, how you slept the night before, how active you were the day before, how well you recovered from that activity, your body temperature, and your respiratory rate. And for the sleep and the readiness score, it gives you a nice number out of 100, super easy to read, to try and give you a guideline of what your day can and should look like. The lower the sleep score, the worse you slept. The lower the activity score, the less ready you are for more intense, longer duration, or difficult physical activity. And your activity goals for the day will be based off of how you slept and your readiness score. So on days where I slept really, really well, I was active the day before, and I recovered really well, my activity goal for that day will be a bit higher. It'll try to push me to do a little bit more in my day than a day where I slept really poorly. It'll even give you these nice nudges where it'll be rest day or take a day off. Or on the other end of the spectrum, try and push yourself today or really go for it today, which is a nice little nudge first thing in the morning to try and frame your day. Now, a big thing to think about with the Oura ring is the accuracy. Now, Oura seriously touts the accuracy of the ring, especially compared to other wearable devices, but it's worth noting with any consumer wearable, it's not going to be as accurate as having an ECG, having an actual sleep study done, and all the rest of it. But it can still give you a really good baseline set of data to compare against the data that you get from the ring. And even with that being said, the ring is pretty damn accurate. Now, the next big thing that I want to talk about is heart rate variability. Now, your heart rate variability, or HRV, is the variance between heartbeats. More than anything, your HRV is a measure of your nervous system, your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. And the higher that number is, the better the number is. So you might think oh, lower variance in between heartbeats must be a good thing, but no, what we want to see is a higher number. Now, what's nice about the Oura is that it establishes a baseline for you. So you're not comparing yourself against some aggregate set of data for people who aren't anything like you. You're simply comparing you to you. Obviously, like any biometric marker, these numbers are highly individualized, but still, in terms of trending data, working towards a higher HRV is going to be more beneficial for your recovery, your body's ability to actually slow down, chill out, recover, and be more apt to go out and do more intense activity throughout your day. Now, I could go on and on about HRV, what it is, specifics, parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system, but I will leave that for a future video if people are interested in that. But it's worth noting that most of these biomarkers are measured while you sleep and not in real time throughout the day. That being said, there is a really nice feature in the app called Moments, where you can take a moment, whether through a guided meditation or what they've called a check body status thing. I'm a huge fan of this body status thing, because it kind of gives me an opportunity to just sit down, chill out, and kind of center myself, but also to get a good set of data on like where my body is and kind of get a snapshot of that. And you can do these for as low as 1 minute, which will just give you like your 1 minute resting heart rate. And you can go as high as I think an hour on it. And once you hit the 5-minute mark, you'll get data around your HRV in real time, your body temperature variance, and your resting heart rate. So that's essentially all the things that the Ring does, and it's a lot. It is a huge data compiler. At its core, it compiles a bunch of data and puts it in a nice, user-friendly way to view that data. But how does that actually benefit you? The biggest benefit that I think it can bring to anybody is getting a better handle on your sleep. Being able to see what type of sleep you're getting and how much of it you're getting can give you serious lifestyle implication decisions to make. For example, if you're somebody who has a glass of wine before bed every night because you're like, hey, it knocks me out and I feel better and I sleep, you pop one of these puppies on and you can see like, holy cow, alcohol ruins my sleep. Even just having one drink can really mess with my sleep. Having hard data to tell you whether you're trending in the right or wrong direction with your sleep can be really beneficial. Sleep hygiene is one of the most important habits you can develop in your life. And if the Oura Ring can give you a nudge to develop better sleep habits, that's something that can pay serious dividends in the long run. The other big thing that it can help you with is tracking activity. And I want to say, first and foremost, that I don't really view this as an activity tracker, but still, being able to see how many steps you're getting, have some type of estimate around your calorie burn throughout the day, how active you're actually being, how much you're exerting yourself throughout the day, whether the activity that you're engaging in is in the low, medium, or kind of high range of activity for yourself, can be really beneficial. Because if you think like, oh, you know, I'm kind of an active person, and then you realize that you have 9 or 10 plus hours of inactivity throughout the day, having a little thing that gives you the nudge to be like, hey, you need to be more active throughout the day can be really beneficial, especially if you're struggling to get up and move throughout the day. And the third big thing that I think it can help you with is having a grasp on your recovery. Having a sense of what your heart rate variability looks like and comparing that to a baseline and being able to improve upon that by changing your lifestyle can be really beneficial. If you feel like you're maybe overtraining, you're overexerting yourself, or maybe not exerting yourself enough, having an idea of how well your body's actually recovering from activity or not recovering from activity can also help influence decisions you can make around your lifestyle. One last thing that I think can be beneficial as well is that a lot of us just go throughout the day, we do a bunch of stuff, and then we go to bed, and then maybe we wake up feeling worse or better than the day before. The Oura Ring and within the app has a tags component where, let's say on any given day, you can put tags of like the things that you did throughout the day and when you did them. For example, if you took melatonin before you went to bed, you can put a tag that says, oh, I took melatonin before I went to bed. And then the next day you can kind of see, okay, when I take melatonin, this is what happens to my sleep. Or when I drink, this is what happens to my sleep. So that's kind of the comprehensive look at how the Oura Ring might benefit you personally. Now I'm gonna talk about like what I like about it and why I got the thing. I've always been really interested in biometric data. Now I will say I've never been an Apple Watch wearer, I've never really been a Fitbit wearer, and that really comes down to the fact that I love to wear an analog watch on my wrist, which is kind of a petty reason to not wear one, but I've never been able to sacrifice the wrist space for some type of health tracker. I was always more interested in the ring aspect of the Oura. Now, if you're new to the channel, a little background on me. I'm a personal trainer, I'm a health and wellness coach, and these types of things are really important to me personally. I care a lot about my health, probably a lot more than your average person. I care a lot about my sleep, a lot more than the average person, and I'm very, very much so a what gets measured gets managed type of person. So having hard data that I can look at and gauge against the way that I'm feeling day to day is something that's really beneficial for me personally. The biggest way that I think the Ring has affected me is in the sleep tracking aspect. I spend a stupid amount of my free time reading sleep studies and reading books about sleep and all the rest of it, and it's something that I take very seriously in my life. So being able to come home eat like a heavy meal like an hour before I go to bed, and then see exactly how that screws up my sleep is incredibly valuable to me and has changed a lot of the habits that I have around sleep in my life. And there's obviously a placebo effect of if I look at a number that tells me I feel better, I'm going to think, well, I am better. And that's worth noting. That is seriously worth noting here. Now, those are the things that I really love about the Oura Ring. But there is one big thing that I wish it was better at. And I want to preface this by saying I didn't get this thing to be an activity tracker. I knew full well that if I was obsessed with activity tracking, the Whoop band was probably the better choice. That being said, I do wish the activity tracking on this was a little bit better. I wish that when I showed up to the gym, I could like start a workout on the app and I could tell the app that I'm starting a workout right now. So I wish it had that real-time activity tracking. I would love to get real-time data around my heart rate variability, and all those things while I'm in the middle of a workout. But at this point, the Oura Ring does not have that capability. Hopefully in future models, they do add that in. It seems like that would be the next logical step for them to take, because as is, it's definitely the most accurate sleep tracker and HRV tracker on the market. And that next big step with all of the funding that they just got, one can only hope that they go deep into the activity realm with this. The other big thing I don't like about it, and this is more of just rings in general, if you wear a ring, an engagement ring, a wedding ring, whatever, it's a pain in the ass if you're lifting weights. I strength train at least 3 times a week, every week, and having to take this thing off anytime I'm doing anything with dumbbells or barbells is kind of a pain in the ass. Now, could I keep it on and risk scratching it and screwing it up? Yeah, but it's just not worth it for $400 to keep it on for a workout that is not really tracking. It can be kind of a pain. So we've gone over what the ring is, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, just about everything you could know about this ring. So should you get an Oura Ring? Is the Oura Ring for you? And the answer to that is kind of complicated. Do you want an activity tracker? Do you want to have a really good sense of calories burned and how intense your workout is and how much strain you're putting on your body within a workout? Then no, I'm gonna be honest and say that this thing is not for you. That being said, if you're more focused on a broader, holistic view of your health and having serious, accurate biomarkers to make decisions based off of, then maybe it is for you. If sleep is something that is a priority to you, getting better quality sleep, more sleep, or just creating better habits around your sleep and recovery, then I would 110% recommend this thing. I love this thing, and it has fulfilled the purpose that I bought it tremendously. So if you're in the camp of activity-based and obsessive around activity tracking, then maybe it's not for you. But if you're focused on a broader picture of your health in general, then I absolutely would recommend the Oura Ring. So should you get the Oura Ring? Well, it's up to you. I think I've provided you with all the information that I could possibly give you around this to make an informed decision. But of course, do all the research you want, go on their website. I'll leave that down in the description below. I do want to say that obviously I'm not being paid by Oura to make this, so all the thoughts that I've shared in this video are my own. But as of now, this ring has become a trusty companion to carry along in like my health and fitness journey, and the upsides that I've seen far outweigh any negatives that have come with it. And with that out of the way, I will leave the video here. I hope you found this video useful. Like I said at the start, please like the video, and if you're not already, make sure to subscribe. I really appreciate every single one of you that subscribes. We're making YouTube videos every single week here. And if you're new to the channel and found me because of this video, links to everything I do is down in the description as well. I appreciate you all immensely, and I will catch you guys in the next one.